Hey, welcome back to Road Tripping with Rachel. I'm Rachel. Thank you so much for joining me here on this road trip. We are getting closer and closer to Christmas, and that means it is time, if you haven't started already, to get your baked goods made. Now, for me, that means cookies. I've got another video that's going to be going up where I'm going to show you my cheesecake that I am making to actually take into work for our Christmas party. But today, I am baking cookies with you. Now, this is in part my recipe, in part another recipe that I have used for years that comes from my complete baking cookbook I got when I was in middle school. I've just ad-libbed a little bit on one of the recipes. So I have a traditional sugar cookie that I'm going to be making, and then I have one that is chocolate peppermint sugar cookie. Yes, you may take your moment and just be in awe of that combination. However, I am going to go ahead and I'll share the recipes with you. That's going to come out of the cookbook, and then how changes and adjustments that I made to it in order to make the chocolate peppermint. So it is 3 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, half a cup of butter, 1 egg, vanilla, nutmeg if you want to add it, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. You do have to mix the dry ingredients together first, and then you will cream the sugar and the butter together, add the egg, add the vanilla, and then slowly add in the dry ingredients. Oh, and half a cup of milk. And so you'll add the milk in, alternating it with the dry ingredients. The adjustment I made in order to get the chocolate peppermint sugar cookies was I went on ahead and I added a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder to my dry ingredients, and then I added an extra, I would say maybe 1/4 cup of milk to it, because that 1/4 cup of cocoa, like, it does make a difference with the consistency in your dry ingredients. So I added about a 1/4 cup of milk to the recipe, and then you do need to chill it. So I made these both last night, so they have been chilling for almost 24 hours. I will not be rolling this out and cutting out a bunch of cutesy shapes. I'm just not here to do that. I do have cookie cutters. I normally enjoy doing that. I just don't feel like doing it, in all honesty. That's what it comes down to. So what I am going to do, though, is I am going to roll them all into small balls, and then I am going to take a glass and dunk it in sugar, and then I am going to be pressing all my cookies out. I do have colored sugar, and I did pick up icing, so I will probably be doing some decorating. Not on all of them, but at least on some of them. And then I am probably going to be foisting a lot of these off to my coworkers. But that is the plan. So we'll go on ahead and get started. Okay, so I have got the cookies. They are currently on the baking sheet right now. And I said sugar earlier. I meant flour. I'm going to be using a cup and putting flour into flour, and then using that to press them out. Here, I'll show you. I just have it on a small dessert plate. Whew, get that out of the way. Okay, so here is my cup. It's a little pretty cup that I got on clearance at Walmart a few years ago. I like it because it's got a nice bottom. It'll make a pretty design. Super easy way if you need to fancy up some cookies. Use the glass, press them in. It'll be great if this works. It did not work. Hold on. Okay, it's working now. I did not get enough flour on the bottom of that. The cookies, like the added peppermint in these does make it like a little stickier. So that did not help anything. But as you can see, once you get going, super easy. It flattens them out. What I'm going to do after this is I'm going to take some milk and I'll dust them with some milk. That way there is like a liquid for the sprinkles to stick to, and there are pretty greens. There's blue in here, red. I think the red would look really pretty with these. I use blue, but normally that's just on the traditional sugar cookies. I have already preheated my oven to 350 degrees. I'm going to finish getting this done. We're going to get some sugar on these, and then we will get them in the oven. The thing to remember, like with cookies, when you're making a bunch of them like this, because I'm going to have to do a whole nother set of these, is, well, I'm doing multiple sets of these, is that you need to start with like a cool cookie sheet. because they'll start cooking like once you put the dough on them. So one of the things I normally do when I start off is I will get the 2 of them ready to go. And when I put the first set in, I will put 1 tray in and then let those bake. And then whenever I pull those out, I'll put the second tray in. That way the first tray will cool once the cookies are off, and I'll be able to add more dough onto it and then like just keep that cycle going. But they'll be delicious by the time I'm finished with them. It's just, this is the part that I always dread every time I make cookies. The endless cycle of, it's just the endless cycle. Okay, I have them dusted with sugar now. I'm gonna go ahead and pop in the first tray. They're gonna go into the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. We'll start with 10 and then we'll see how they look. I have not baked sugar cookies with this oven since my move. So we're gonna find out like how well it bakes as far as cookies go. I have baked chocolate chip cookies, but their consistency and everything is just different from these. So we're gonna find out how well does this work. First pan is now out of the oven. I got the second pan in. First pan has already cooled. I've got the last little bit of dough for the chocolate ones on here. I'm currently debating if I want to add the colored sugar to this one and then just worry about actually icing the other ones, or do I want to be able to ice some of the chocolate peppermint ones? I haven't decided. Do I want to even ice them at all at this point? I'm undecided on that. Icing is always fun, but I only picked up red and white, and I can always find some other use for them. But here's how the chocolate ones have turned out. Don't judge them too harshly, because like chocolate cookies, like they never look super duper appealing like when they're baked. They always look so much prettier when they're still in their dough form. But here these are. So you can see how they came out. Some of them still have a little bit of flour on them. I ended up running out of red. I thought I had more, so I added some green to them. But this is what they look like. They've been sitting for a few minutes at this point. So let's go on ahead and just test one of them. We'll test one of the first ones I took off. Oh, good. They're stiffening up the way they're supposed to. Oh, and they did have to be in longer than 10 minutes. Ooh, that light. That light. Let's just a little bit. So they are stiffening up the way they're supposed to, which is always a plus. So let's just see how these turned out. I do really like these. So the cocoa, I find tends to make things just a little bit better, just because that's just how chocolate works. But in the sugar cookie dough, it evens itself out, so to speak. And then I like the little bit of sugar on top because it just kind of adds just a little bit to it. The peppermint is way more mild than what I thought it was going to be, considering I did taste the dough. Because we all know our mothers lie to us when they say don't eat the cookie dough. I'm convinced that's what that is. So I did test the cookie dough just to see how it was tasting. Like, did I feel overwhelmed by it? Now, I will say I did let this rest overnight. And so the peppermint made the dough like sticky, if that makes sense. It made it a little bit more liquidy because the water started to like erode the hard candies, if you know what I mean, and break them down. So the peppermint is not overwhelming. The last time I made cookies where I included peppermint in them, I made the dough and I only let it sit for like half an hour, and I did everything all in the same day. This was the first time I've tried doing this and actually let it go overnight. So I would maybe recommend doing it like all in one go, and just letting the dough rest for maybe an hour or so instead of letting it go overnight the way I did. But they taste really good though. Like, they don't taste bad at all. So I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to get some traditional sugar cookies done too, and then I will show you how they all turned out. Okay, cookies are all out. I ended up with like 3 trays of the chocolate cookies, which means I probably just made them smaller. In fact, I know that I made them smaller. And then I ended up with 2.5 trays of the traditional sugar cookies. So this is what they ended up with. I have some that are just sitting on the stove. But there we go. There we go. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. They are fluffy. They taste delicious. And I'm done. I am so done with cookies now. I went on ahead and put sugar on all of them because I did not feel like having to sit and decorate any of these. I moved on, made my decision, I moved on. I'm gonna just let all these cool before I put them in a Tupperware container, and then I will go on ahead and get them off to work in the morning. I hope you enjoyed my baking adventure today and know that I love you guys, which is why I make cookies. For Vlogmas. I make cookies for Vlogmas. Oh, I'm tired. I'm tired. Seriously, guys. I hate the baking process of cookies, but they do taste good. I know they're gonna make people happy, and I make myself do this every year, so it's not that big of a deal. If you did enjoy this though, make sure you like and subscribe. That way we are able to get this videos out to other people, especially over Vlogmas. Just give them something entertaining to watch. But also I do short lessons throughout the year, and I am doing some short lessons over Vlogmas called Christ and the Carols, and then on Sunday I'm releasing videos just leading us through Advent. Throughout the year I do videos once a week that are normally Bible study videos twice a month, and then the shenanigans that I get up to over the course of life then throughout the rest of the year. I am looking forward though to having you guys join me on the adventure for 2025, so make sure that you do like and subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!